Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton. I want to thank you all for tuning in today, the day before the big game here on Lions Talk Live. Let's today dive into all the things that are going to set up tomorrow's matchup. Let's try to break down a little bit about the offenses and defenses. I'm sure we've all talked about it ad nauseum about, Baker Mayfield's coming back. Hey, he's revitalized his career. You got 2 first-round quarterbacks squaring off, yada, yada, yada. But we'll try to go through one last bit of things, try to give you all a little bit of entertainment as well. And, hey, set up the big matchup for tomorrow. Before we get into the show, though, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We need 10 more subs to hit 5,700. And if you're also enjoying the videos, if you would please hit the thumbs up button, I surely would be thankful. One last thing, in case you were not aware, if you are interested in buying or selling property anywhere in the state of Michigan, give me a call, shoot me a text. You see the number on the screen, 269-998-2384. Outside of being a coach, a YouTuber, etc., I've been a realtor since the early 1990s. So if you want someone who's going to work on your behest, try to save you some money, go ahead and give me a call. I'll try to help you out any way possible. All right. As I talked about the start of the show, we got one day to go to. Could you call tomorrow's game? I mean, call it what it is. Basically, the biggest game in the Lions' history, at least the last 30 years. One could argue, I guess, in the last 60 or so years. You've got a franchise that we're all aware of the storyline's been one of the worst in pro sports. and I'm guessing most people's lifetimes. You've had a couple moments where they flickered up, hey, made the playoffs, obviously 91. They made it to the NFC title game. But here we go. Once again, we're going to face a team that we know, that we played earlier in the year, and we win this game. There's at least some potential that we'll be hosting the NFC, the NFC title game. We'll find all that out basically later today when San Francisco and Green Bay square off against each other. Winner of that is going to be determining if the Detroit Lions host the title game or if the Lions win, if we will have to go to San Francisco for all that. All right, let's hop over into the comments section as we often do on the show, and I'm sure most of you know. Jason Gray's salutations from -5 degrees in Minnesota tundra. Today's agenda, Lions Talk Live, followed by skiing and wrapping it all up with a Green Bay victory. Yes, and I'm liking the way you're thinking with the Green Bay victory. I just think they're able to expose some of the weaknesses in the 49ers. And not that we couldn't, but I think Green Bay can as well. To me, a lot of it comes down to the arm strength of Brock Purdy. And no disrespect, this kid's, knocking the ball or the cover off the ball, whatever you want to say. But I do believe, based on what Green Bay can do defensively to generate pressure up the middle of the Packers offensive line, 49ers offensive line, to get after Purdy, if they're really focused on taking away some of those shorter intermediate routes and forcing him to consistently throw the ball downfield, I don't think that's a good recipe for the 49ers offense. Can Green Bay do it? Well, you heard my prediction before the playoffs started, who I had in the title game. And yes, even going to the Super Bowl. So just a brief recap. I had Detroit winning against the Rams, Green Bay beating Dallas, Tampa Bay beating Philadelphia, Detroit beating Tampa Bay, Green Bay beating 49ers, Detroit beating Green Bay in the NFC title game at Ford Field to go to the Super Bowl. We'll see how the Dan O'Damas does with those predictions. All right, JDC, good morning all. Good morning to you too, my friend. Robert, greetings and salutations from sunny Florida. It is 39 degrees here. Well, I hope you have, Robert, the suntan lotion on and you're enjoying all those balmy weather that the rest of the country apparently is not getting right now. Robert, Coach, how do we minimize the pass rush of the Buccaneers? I'm guessing there'll be a few things. One, yes, they will run on them. There will be the token stuff against the blitz, the quick outs, the screen passes, things of that sort, things like that to try to minimize the Buccaneer defense and its abilities to blitz. If you go back to the last time we played, it's really not a whole lot different other than this. The Buccaneers have simply gotten better with it all. They're able to perform with their defense at a higher level. Now, conversely to that, I'm sure as we're all aware, there were a lot of Lions out that game, including on the offensive line and the running back position. So I believe we'll have a favorable matchup when they blitz. It's just going to come down to execution. All right, Jason, do you expect any rust from San Francisco or the Ravens? I do. And, just I've talked about it as a coach before, let alone on YouTube, that I hate having that first round bye, whether it be in any sport, for one simple reason. You're going to face a team that's already got the jitters out of their system. They played the week before. They're, any playoff nervousness or whatever you want to say, they've already gotten that out of the way, where your guys are going on the field, and that's when everything's starting for them. So to me, it's a huge factor, just because when you go out there, the jitters are normal. Most humans are going to have them. But you get one or two plays to go against you, one tip pass that leads to a pick, a fumble or whatever. Maybe you don't get a key play on third down. Now you add your jitters while you add momentum to the other team. And that's why it was a contributing factor in my picking the 49ers to lose today, is just because of that. I think they're going to get one or two breaks that go for Green Bay in that first quarter. And against the 49ers, I think it's going to be a dogfight throughout the game. But I do believe Green Bay is going to come out with a 4-point win. Ravens, I think, are going to win too, just in case you're wondering. Robert, good morning. Good morning, Dan and the Duke crew. Good morning to you too, my friend. Hopefully, you're having a great one. Michael, greetings and salutations, Coach and Duke crew. One more day! Exclamation point! Can't wait. Go Lions! Lots of exclamation points. Woo! I'm trying not to be too loud because I know a couple people have put in the comment section waking people up at their house. So apologies. Don, short passes and yak will be the keys to the game. We have to break tackles. Agreed. One man can't bring you down. Agreed. You get your one-on-one matchups. You got to hit them. You got to make the other team pay. You got to do a house call whenever you can. It'll be interesting to see. I know last week the Rams chose on, I don't remember. I want to say it was like almost 70% of the snaps when Jameson Williams was out there to double team him. Will the Bucs try to mimic that? If not, you've got some potential there, especially we talked about the formation I'm anticipating out of the Bucs and how they're just going to try to slant everything inwards to try to force it into basically drop coverage from the defensive line of scrimmage, try to throw Goff into some picks or move him into some picks. But if they do leave Jameson Williams in some single coverage, do we early in the game take a couple deep shots, trying to get some one-on-one matchups, some big shots? We'll have to wait and see. But if it's there, I'd be dialing up, but I'm not Ben Johnson. All right, Clark Griswold, greetings and salutations all. Anyone else heading to Ford Field for the game? Question mark. Coach, will you host a tailgate next year? I'll try to set something up. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll maybe earlier in the season or something. I'll try to orchestrate something and see if everybody wants to meet up and greet, things like that. We'll try to get that organized. Trump's, woo! There we go. Papa Noel, good morning, all. Good morning to you too, sir. Polar Bear, the last 4 games, Lions have given up the most passing yards in NFL history, but 3 plays have given up 280 yards. MCDC is going to make stops. MCDC is going to make stopping Mike Evans a priority. Hopefully, AG is listening. I'll say this. You're 100% right, Polar Bear. The Lions have given up. Justin Jefferson has torched us. Lamb has torched us. I mean, Puka Nacua has torched us. A lot of people have. But look at also what has happened during that time. Our scoring defense has dropped exponentially as we're allowing less and less points. We've given up a ton of big plays on third downs. I don't think I'm telling you guys stuff you don't know, but I will say this. Why we've been bending, we have not been breaking, and in the red zone, we seem to have stymied other teams exponentially and forced them into field goals versus touchdowns. So if you keep that trend going, I think there's a real good chance you're walking out of Ford Field with a victory tomorrow. But I am expecting the passing game to still allow other teams to move the ball a little bit and get some premium yards. All right, Trump's genius, Skip Bayless is a total shed. All right, we'll go with that. I know he seems to always find a negative approach to the Lions, it seems. All right, David, what do you got? Good morning. All right, we'll go with that. Good morning. All right. Lance, greetings and salutations, Coach. What is the biggest key to winning tomorrow? Your thoughts? I think it's going to be controlling the game clock and obviously not turning over the ball. If our running game is as effective as I believe it can be tomorrow, because we're going to get some opportunities, then I think you're going to be able to set up Jared Goff with some great play action passing. I also want to add into that, I don't want to see Goff just have to throw on second and third down only. Mix it up. I believe, and you guys have heard me if you watch the show for a while, I do believe going play action pass on first down is far more effective than any other down. So we'll see if that's what they do, but that's what I would really encourage Ben Johnson and the entire offense to do. Try to go out there and first down and use your play action, then use the pass to set up the run. Trump fired Jameel Hill. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, but okay, we'll go with that. Let's see. Little John, what do you got? Good morning, Duke Crew. Coach, you pick Green Bay to win. What's your score prediction? Let's go with 35-31. Green Bay, high scoring game. Both teams' offense is clicking. Both teams' defense is getting pushed on, but 4-point win. Brent, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. I hope Gibbs has a big game over 100 yards from scrimmage. Yeah, there's real possibility because, again, with the screen game probably going to be utilized more tomorrow than most other games, you're going to have him involved in that. The running game, obviously. So if they can get him out in pass coverage, especially against a lot of linebackers that Tampa Bay has, I think you're going to have some favorable matchups. Now, my big question will be, if I'm Tampa Bay, who do I put David on? Is it going to be Laporta? Is it going to be Gibbs? I'm thinking he's going to be assigned more to Laporta, but that's something we'll have to pay attention to tomorrow. Trey, what's good, all? I get to make a live since it's Saturday. Let's go, Lions. Well, glad you could make it in, buddy. Hopefully you enjoyed the show, and hope you're having a great day. Lions fan number one, good morning. Anyone watch the NBC interview with Hutch? ? That kid is a Lion through and through. I have not seen it. I did see it pop up on the feed this morning, but just getting ready for the show, and then got to get a few things ready for coaching stuff later. I wasn't able to check it out, but I will be listening to it later today. JDC, one of the few times I get to root the Cheddar on. Go Pack. Yeah, I think for at least one day, one game, there'll be a lot of fans in the Lions Nation that will be cheering on Green Bay. So it gives you something to watch today, too, with a meaning or impact on the Lions. Kate, good morning. Good morning to you, too. Phil, good morning. Back at you, buddy. Hopefully you're having a great one. And Phil's got another new guitar out there today. All right. Phil is never shy with working on the guitars. He does great work with that as well. All right, Brent, we win the trenches. We win the game. I'd say that's pretty accurate, Brent. Yeah, if you can keep the pocket clean for Goff and put Mayfield under some duress throughout the game, probably a good formula for winning there. Polar Bear, what do you got? Does anyone else feel like this is a dream? ? I think we have the football gods on our side with a lack of injuries. The Lions training staff needs to be applauded. New turf is helping. You know, they did – the original plan for the new turf was for it to, I think, to come out in 25 or being fully installed. But the behest of a lot of Lions players, give Sheila Ford Hamp a lot of credit. She went out there and she spent, or the Ford family or whoever, spent a lot of money to get that moved up to this year. Has it impacted things? I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But to your point, Polar Bear, the Lions are as healthy as any team really realistically could expect to be at this point in the season. Khalif Raymond's the only guy, let me double check, but I'm pretty sure he was the only guy, on the injury report who's going to be out, at least as of right now. Laporta is questionable. He's going to play. James Houston, I'm going to guess, is going to be on the field and playing, but I guess we'll have to officially wait till tomorrow to see. So you're right. I mean, give them all the credit in the world for keeping the guys healthy, ready to go, especially last week with Laporta. I mean, you give the kid some credit, too, because he had to agree to have all those devices put in that knee and drain all the blood and the fluids out to keep it from swelling, get the swelling down, get it as right as possible for last week's game. And while he might not have been the most effective he's ever been, hey, dude's still got a touchdown on a key fourth down. And you know what? In a 1-point game, how huge was that? So, yeah, you're 100% right with that. Now, Marker, good morning, coach and crew. Good morning to you too, sir. All right, Paul Bear, Lee McNeil is going to wreck the Bucs offense. A strong possibility. He's going to come in like a lot of other players. They're going to come in ready to feast, and they're ready to get that win, push them to the next round, the final four of the playoffs. Jason, Polar Bear agreed. In those 4 record-setting passing yard games, we won 3 of 4. should have beat Dallas. This is also true. Stop the big plays on defense. If the Lions defense can elevate even further to where that happens, to where now they're taking away those big plays, man, you really open up some pathways for this team to win and be dominant at times. Because without those big plays, the completing the third and 24s, third and 17s, where you give up the first downs, there's just not many other weaknesses in this team at this time. All right, Trump. Rodney Rule is garbage. Hire the best man. Yeah, there's something to be said for that for sure. Hatman, good morning, coach. I'm ready to get this party started. Woo! Again, I'm not trying to do the woos too loud. I'm trying to be respectful of those at home, and I have other people sleeping or whatever around them. But at any rate, yes, I think everybody out there is ready for the games today to just sit back, watch them, see, probably cheering on Green Bay today just for one very selfish reason. So Detroit, when we win tomorrow, we get to host the NFC title game. And here's a prediction for you guys. I'll just throw it at you. I know the average ticket price for tomorrow's game is over $1,000. It's like just under 1,100, if I'm not mistaken. What do you think the average price is going to be for if the Lions host the NFC Championship game next weekend? I'd be interested to see what the predictions are. So what's the average price and what's the high price for a ticket going to be? I want to say currently still the high price for a ticket for tomorrow was just over $12,000 for a ticket at Ford Field. And I don't know the sections or anything like that. So don't ask. I can't help you with that part. But I would be real curious to see what that skyrockets to and see what your guys' thoughts are. Oops. Let me get back to the screen here. All right, Property Lord, good morning, all. Good morning to you, too. Hatman, what is our biggest struggle in the game Sunday? I think it will be getting consistent pressure on Mayfield and trying to disrupt their passing game. Tampa Bay's offense has elevated since when we seen them in week 6 or whatever it was of the regular season. They've gotten better. They've gotten more on the same page, the receivers, the tight ends, quarterback, everybody, things of that sort. So they're going to be able to hit some big plays. And if we can't defend it better, we're going to have to die by the sword, live by the sword. You're going to have to blitz Mayfield. You're going to have to get him on the back. You're going to have to try to disrupt those timing routes as much as possible. They're going to get some deep shots on us. If we can make some plays and bust them up and hold them at bay like we have been for opposing teams for the last, 6 weeks or so, we're going to have a real good chance of winning. If we can't do that, then it's probably going to be more of a dogfight by the end of the game. All right, John King, let's just sit back and enjoy the ride. Great time to be a fan, 100%. So here's the thought for you guys. When we win tomorrow, it means in the NFC title game, there's only one game left after that game. That's the Super Bowl. And how crazy a thought is that the Detroit Lions will have played in every game in the regular season and postseason. And then the only game left is the Super Bowl, that you have made it as far as anybody can. And yes, in case you're wondering, I am predicting that we will beat the Packers in the NFC title game when both teams make it there a week later. So food for thought. All right, Jason, Laporta was limited at practice. Rest? Yeah, I think just rest, just to help it again, continue to rest up, heal, things of that sort. Phil, how does the heat work on a Tesla? It works. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Phil, or anybody listening, that thing heats up real quick. The steering wheel, the seats, and then obviously the traditional heat. Yeah, it doesn't take long. I'd say, maybe 20, 30 seconds, and that heat is cranking out. Randy, we have 7 valuable players back that didn't play week 6. Plus, the crowd will be rocking. 133 plus decimals. Lions win 31-21. Sold. I'll take it, Randy. And you know what? You are 100% right. There were a lot of meaningful players out, and I do wonder how it's going to impact the Buccaneers. I listened to Kelvin Johnson yesterday. He was on a couple different shows, but he brought up last weekend's game against the Rams. He said the loudest he could compare in his playing time was probably everybody was going to guess this, the Chicago Bears Monday Night Football game where they forced the Bears into like 5 false starts just because the crowd noise was impacting the Bears so much. The Rams, I know I've mentioned it earlier in the week, the Rams kind of had some help to helping prevent some of that because they have to use silent counts so often at their home because the majority of the crowd isn't there to support them. They're there to support the other teams. So I am going to be real curious to see how the Bucs address this, especially in key stressful moments. Can we get 5, 6, 7 false starts out of them? If we do, then they're in real bad situation throughout most of the game. Joseph Laporta and Reynolds both getting a TD in this one. I hope the man has his mic on today. Oh, man, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it's on today. Good thing you said that. Phil, 133, yes. 133 decibels, yes. All right, Robert, in my opinion, they need to keep doing what they are doing and try to minimize the big pass plays. Yeah, a good call. This defense has been playing much better the last month and a half or so. So if you can just now take it another level up where you're stopping some of those third downs, stopping some of those big pass plays, this team's really got something cooking. And you know what? Having Houston back, Garner Johnson now, I think it would be fair to say by tomorrow's game, he might not have all the rust off, but he should have like 99% or 95% of the rust off. So he should be able to perform at a pretty high level. All right, Polar Bear Lions 27-17. I'm hoping a defensive TD or turnover with a short field adds another 7 points. I can see all that happening for sure, especially if you're able to get a fumble 6 or a pick 6, something of that line. Yeah, I think it's definitely possible. You can get Mayfield into some errant passes. Just got to make sure the coverage doesn't have any breakdowns. All right, Brent, we should be able to pound the rock against the Bucs. Yeah, I think there's gonna be an emphasis by both teams to move the ball on the ground. The Lions, obviously, as we all know, have some real weapons there. The Bucs, the last few weeks, they've done okay on the ground. I also think they've done it against teams that are kind of lacking the ability to stop the run significantly. So see what shakes out. Derek, what do you got? Good morning to you too. Brent, pound the rock. Lions 34-17. Sold. Dr. Detroit, I agree. Don, drag that clock out. Yes, drag it out. Keep the Bucs off the field. Wear their defense down. All that. Yeah, traditional playoff football. All right, Robert, they better fix that pass defense. I think they're doing everything they can, man. It's tough. I think you got some real good safeties. The corners kind of getting picked on a little bit, but you know what? There's nobody else out there right now, so hopefully everybody just plays better. I do wonder at times how much Cam Sutton's toe injury is impacting him. That probably isn't thought about a lot in his defense, but if he's gotten through it and going through it, hopefully that thing's just resting up and getting better. All right, Joseph, I was wanting to know, not your predictions, but I was wanting to know who you would rather the Lions face. Would you rather them face the 49ers or would you rather them face Green Bay? I'm going with Green Bay just because that would mean we're at home. And I think with the crowd, those elements, maybe a little bit of a revenge factor, I think that would help out a lot. Plus this time of year, especially from a recovery standpoint, the fact that you don't have to get on the plane and take off on Friday or Thursday to go out to San Francisco, is it a huge advantage? No. Is it an advantage? Yes. The familiarity on the daily basis, going through the same routines, same familiar faces, all that. It's not a huge thing, but it is a thing. So I do believe that's something I would want just for that reason. Green Bay and the 49ers both have their own challenges from a schematic standpoint. So assuming those aren't hugely different, which I don't think they are at this point in the year, I'm going to look for any of the other nuances that may add to us. And I would say that being at home against Green Bay, that's where I would go with it. All right, Doug, what do you got? Detroit Rock City. It'll be rocking tomorrow afternoon. Go Lions. Yeah. Can you imagine how loud it's going to be in there? Can they get even louder than the 133? That's what I would be looking at. And I'll say this. I just can't imagine that, not Green Bay, that the Buccaneers are really going to be able to game plan for that crowd noise. They play in an outdoor stadium. So even if they want to put on the speakers or whatever and try to blare them, it's just not going to be the same as the reverberations of the sound coming off the top of the stadium. So that place is going to be totally loud. And imagine all the stuff going on around Ford Field leading into the game too. Yeah, what an environment. Jason, if the Lions win tomorrow, will you consider a Ric Flair Mimi show with no sound? Sure, I'll consider it, man, but probably not without no sound. I try to restrict my broadcast to no sound only once a month, and I've already unfortunately used that allotment. All right, Big M. Good morning, Dan and Duke crew. Dan, give me your offense and defensive players of the game. Let's go. One pride. All right, offensive player of the game. Let's go with. Ooh, boy. All right. I don't want to say Jared Goff. That's kind of a gimme when you pick the quarterback. So let's go with Gibbs. I think Gibbs is going to have a big game tomorrow. Probably more in the passing game, the running game, but still big game nonetheless. On defense, you know what? I'm going to throw a monkey in the wrench. Throw somebody most won't pick. I'm going to go with Jack Campbell. Why? I think he's going to help shut down the Bucs running game. And I'm going to call it right now. The Dan O'Damas is going to say he's going to get a pick and return it 37 yards. Won't be for a score, but he'll set up a short score for the Lions. So there you go. Those are my two picks for the game. The rookies, right, coming through. Doug, Lions 38, Bucs 10. Now, Doug, that would be a great game. And you imagine the party scenario that will be unfolding probably by midway through the third quarter, if not the start of the fourth quarter. I like the way you're thinking, though. All right, Derek, no, quote, fixing it now. Just play like they did with the Rams. Yeah, all you can do is, try to coach them up a little bit more, try to get everybody a little bit more on the same page, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, this is your team. You're not able to go out and get anybody else, same as everybody else. You're rolling with the guys that have brought you to this point in the year. And you know what? You can just cheer them on. Hopefully that we come out on the right side of the scoreboard. All right, JDC, Coach Dan, I own hell and 7 miles south of it. I'd like to sell a few acres if possible. Sure, man. Give me a call. Shoot me a text. I'll see what I can do to help you out, man. Alec, good morning, Coach. I'm not trying to be naive when saying this, but I truly don't see how the Bucs win this game. I'm so sick of hearing how the Bucs got better since the last time we faced them. So did we! Exclamation point. And you're not wrong. We'll just say this. Both teams or any team in the league outside the Philadelphia Eagles have gotten better from week 1 to week 6 to week 12, etc. I do agree they've improved, quite a bit. I do agree with what you're saying, that Alec, that we've improved 100%. I'm going to say this. I think that the national media just comes out and says things because they want to play on people's emotions. They want to try to build up the game. I don't think most in the media, even though there have been a few that will come out and say, hey, I think the Lions are going to win by a lot. I believe they do that intentionally, the vast majority of the national media, because they want to build up interest for the game. And that's ultimately the media I grew up working for is not the media that exists now. The internet changed a lot of it, whether it be people on YouTube or, for NBC or whatever company. It's now a lot more about entertainment value than it is reporting news or facts. There aren't a lot of journalists anymore. There are a lot of reporters now. People that are trying to get on that mic first and foremost to get you the news and information, and not just on sports, on anything, as fast as they can, because they know most people don't really care anymore about the actual facts of something. So that may not be quite the case with sports, just because in sports, at the end of the day, you can either evaluate what's going to happen or you can't. It doesn't mean you can't be wrong, but there are a lot of people that comment on videos, and then I watch them working on broadcast networks. And, when they try to break down stuff from a technical standpoint, you can go, yeah, this guy doesn't know anything about actual X's and O's of formations, but it doesn't mean they can't regurgitate something they heard somebody else said. So is what it is, man. All right, Perry, Houston should have a positive impact and contribute to a strong stronger rush, and stop the running game. Yes, I do think on obvious passing situations, you're going to see the problem unleashed on Mayfield and the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers, the one thing I would give some real credence to is their offensive line has improved from the start of the year to now. And I think that's why their offense has overall improved. You see the blocking, you see the footwork, you see the first steps in how they get out there to block, especially edge rushers. They've improved exponentially. You do see how they're also trying. They don't have the greatest interior offensive line, in my opinion, that the Lions have faced in recent weeks. It's probably going to be closer to the lower end of what the Lions have faced in the last 2 months. But what they do is they do specifically try to jam the middle to try to keep all three of those guys, the center and both guards, in a tight formation. They don't allow any of them to go on single blocking assignments. I think the Bucs coaching staff just knows these guys will not hold up well. Think of Scoresdale against Green Bay on Thanksgiving. The Lions in the first half, they clearly overestimated Scoresdale's ability to block on that particular game, at least, because they left him in a lot of single block assignments, and he got roasted often. And that's part of the reason why we had the turnovers and the bad performance in that first quarter of the Thanksgiving Day game. I can't imagine the Bucs are going to allow any of those interior linemen to do that. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Troy, Tampa Bay ranks 32nd in plays that involve motion. We know Detroit loves to motion receivers pre-play, so let's make it a priority and attack their weakness. Yeah, and Troy, I think you're spot on with that. I got to imagine, I would hope that Ben Johnson, the coaching staff, also are aware of this and will be using that judiciously throughout the entire game. Trying to throw some different words at you guys like judiciously. All right, David, is it possible for a personality issue with Houston? Is it possible? Sure, but there's none that I'm aware of, at least. I just think with Houston, they've done everything they can to rest that or heal that leg up, and that's why he's not out there. From the few times I've heard him talk in interviews, and it's not that he couldn't be hiding something, but the guy seems pretty introverted to me. Doesn't mean he doesn't have some ability to go out there and be a little bit more flamboyant or whatever, or friendly with people, but he seems like he keeps a lot of stuff internal inside himself. Doesn't want to go out and say anything crazy or anything. A little bit closer to a shy guy. Maybe that's what I should say. Joseph, what do you got? And by the way, good morning to you, Coach. And just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate your shows and wish I could catch them all, but I work these 12-hour shifts from 6 to 6. Go Lions. Woo! Well, Joseph, thanks for watching that. And thanks for the kind words, man. And the good thing with YouTube is anytime you want to watch it, you can just, hit click and play. But I do love the live shows and that, getting everybody in here together, chatting, talking things up, and obviously getting ready for the games. All right, Big M, Lions 31, Tampa 20, going to the NFC Conference Championship. I like it. I have to agree with you at Alec. Okay, Robert. All right. Dr. Troy, Dan, that is your dream. All right, fair enough. We'll go with that. Well, I'm going to tell you, we're going to win tomorrow. We're going to win next week. We're going to the Super Bowl, Dr. Detroit. Troy Houston looked jacked in his last interview compared to what he has. Compared to what he was when he got here. I'm excited to see what he can bring to our D-line when it matters most. Yes, and I would say probably like most rookies, you'll notice a huge difference between them in their first and sophomore years, just because the team now has access to them full time. They're going to be able to have their training staff work with them. So you will notice, usually in most guys, a significant body sculpting change. Trump, haven't heard any Houston attitude problems. Me neither, but if there's somebody's got something out there, let us know, because by no means do I know everything about the kid. Joseph, hey, thank you for that. I will enjoy doing a dog today with that. Thank you very much for that, Joseph. Thank you. All right, Phil, 12-inch locker in this morning. All right. Boy, I can't talk this morning, but I need to do apparently. But so, Phil, how long does it take you to fix a guitar like that or renovate it? So let me know, man. I know you do some great work with that stuff. JK, good morning. Houston is my favorite to pull an upset. All right. Yeah, I think they've got some potential. It's hard for me to bet against the Ravens. I just think they're a pretty tough team. Doesn't mean it can't be got, though. All right, Donkey Kong, boom, here we go. Now we know it is Super Bowl or bust time. And let me ask you guys: Lions do win tomorrow. They win next week in the championship game. How crazy is it to you that we would be in the Super Bowl? What would you do to prepare for the Super Bowl? Are you trying to go to it? Are you going to host a Super Bowl party or whatever? Let me know. I don't know how I'll react to it. I just know it will probably seem like I must have died and gone somewhere because this doesn't seem real. All right, Derek, what do you got? Same at Main Mountain. Okay. Phil, woo! There we go. Matthew, thanks for all you do and all the content you put out. God bless, go Lions. Thanks for that, man. Thank you very much for that. So, it means a lot when I hear that from you guys. Makes me want to do it, the shows even more. Bill, what do you got? Will Houston play? If he does, will he help our pass rush? So, Bill, we won't officially know until tomorrow when the inactives come out. So right now, all we know is he's on the team. He's on the active roster. If he's done everything that he can do and they feel he's going to be one of the best options for the team, then yeah, he'll be out there. And I also believe that would be an indication they mean the coaching staff believes that he'll be one of the top pass rush options. Trump, if it's too loud, turn your volume down. You can always do that too. Woo! There you go. All right, who can do? What do you got? Do you what? You know what sounds good for breakfast? A dew and a hot dog. Yes, I concur. And I will be going to get just that in about we'll say 30 minutes. That does sound good for a breakfast. Big M, totally appreciate your takes and insight. Thank you for being here every morning for us Lions fans. Hey, no problem, man. I enjoy it. We're all Lions fans, and that's the cool part. We're all having our say, talking about it, sharing thoughts or wisdom or whatever. So, yeah, I enjoy it exponentially, man. Joseph, 31-17 Lions, and it won't be that close. I like it. Brent, I'm thinking about 12 to 17 snaps for Houston. I think that would be about right because you think about the natural progression of the game. You think about how often there will be a third down in medium or long. So that sounds about right. I think you're spot on with that, Brent. Phil, any news on PepsiCo and the Blue Dew? No. So in case you guys don't know, somebody in the chat, maybe like a month or two ago, said, "How about we push for a Honolulu Blue Mountain Dew?" And I did actually write the PepsiCo about it. I've wrote them a few times. I've not heard anything back. So to me, I don't know why you wouldn't have had that thing in place for the playoffs, especially with a game at Ford Field. Have a limited edition one sold in Metro Detroit or something like that. Seems like you'd probably clean up on some of the Lions craze right now. JK on Ravens, okay. Joseph, Lions 35, Tampa Bay 17. We'll go with that. Robert G, Lions with a double-digit win. I like it. Big M, hit that like button for Dan, Duke Crew. God bless and enjoy the historic run of our beloved Lions. Yes, I often tell you guys I can't see on this screen what the likes are, but if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live and you're willing to hit both the subscription thumbs up button, I'd be real thankful if you would. All right, JDC Houston, we have a problem. It's called Mayfield. Take care of him. Agreed. You get to him enough, yeah, you'll start disrupting that offense, and you probably get a few turnovers out of Mayfield. Phil, screen to JMO, screen to St. Brown, screen to Gibbs. Yeah, all those people would be great options. And yeah, you get the right blocking out there, you could do some real damage to that Bucs D. Ed, good morning, Coach. I tried to start looking into the draft. Just can't do it. I'm too excited for tomorrow. Yeah, I've done my first mock draft. I just haven't put it out just because I don't really want to distract from the playoff run. I'll probably end up doing my first mock draft 1.0 or whatever you want to call it, probably a week or so after the season ends, because at that point, you've given everybody a little bit of time to breathe, take a break from things, kind of reflect, and now start focusing on other stuff. So that's when I'll probably do my first one. All right, Joseph, I'm so happy to see the Lions finally doing something. I've got some friends that try to rub it in and say that the Niners are going to annihilate the Lions, and I just want them to play them so much. Hey, whoever we have to face next week, biggest thing is win this week, set up next week. If you don't take care of business this week, next week isn't even an option. But when we win tomorrow, hey, if we've got to go to San Fran to win, then great, go do it. I'm still sticking to my guns, though. I think Green Bay is going to pull off the upset. All right, Joseph, so I can rub it in telling them about about them Lions, LOL, but I also want them to host the championship game at home. Yeah, so, I would say this. I'm going to be selfish in all the scenarios. I'm going to be a totally biased Lions fan, and I'm not going to try to hide it by any stretch. I want the Green Bay Packers to win just so we can host it at Ford Field. It's huge for the team. It's huge for the community. It's huge for Metro Detroit, and you could even argue all of Michigan if we can host another playoff game here. Just the economic boom this is creating for all parties involved. Yeah, it is huge. All right, Jason, the tailgate idea is fantastic. All capitals. Can you imagine all of us diverse Lions crazed fanatics whooping it up before the game? I'd travel from Minnesota for that. The woo crew, the woo do crew. You know what? We're gonna make that happen. We'll try to find a spot. I'll talk to the neighbors. Once the season's over, because they go there to all the home games and they tailgate. And I'll see if they got any ideas where we can get a spot for the Lions Talk Live tailgate. So stay tuned for that. Trump television is Satan's frequency. I only plug it in to watch the Lions. Yeah, I watch the Lions on the internet, and there's some shows I watch on what do you call it, Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever. Just finished Jack Reacher season 2, and I really enjoy that show. Joseph, still rooting for my Lions from down here in Kentucky. Well, keep on rooting, man. Joseph, I'm glad it ain't going to be hard being a Lions fan no more. Yeah, it looks like the good times are just beginning. All right, Eduardo, tomorrow can't get here soon enough. Let's go, Lions. Yeah, I'm trying to stay busy today just so keep my mind off it and stuff like that. So I'm going to go. I think I got to drive after this show. What is it, like an hour and a half to show some places and then come back. Then, Jen's got stuff for us to do throughout the day. Trust me, if I got free time, it ain't free no more. She keeps it filled. All right, Phil, the crowd will go nuts when Houston enters the game. Yeah, especially if he gets out there and gets a sack. That place will explode. All right, Troy, Bucs interior offensive line is bottom in the league. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. We need to send some blitzes through the guards and wreak havoc to allow Hutch and Houston to get home. Yeah, so again, just to pay attention to it, they're keeping their center and their two guards basically sandwiched into each other. They want the guards to face out this way, the center to drop in between, just to create as much blocking or ease in blocking assignments for those three guys as they can. It also means they put a lot of one-on-one pressure with their tackles. That's where I think Houston, Romeo Quara, Hutchinson, or whoever, or blitzers are going to be able to take advantage. So think about that three-person squish sandwich, whatever you want to call it, and then the two guys out wide. What that's going to allow is a blitzer coming in between the guards and the tackles. If you time it right, and if those guards aren't fleet of foot, somebody like a Ife Melifanu could shoot that gap and get a real hammer shot down. I don't want to say kill shot, but basically just get a real good free run at Mayfield. You can do that pretty regularly. Joseph, $1,500 for championship game for the average price. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. And I know even standing room only tickets, I want to say for tomorrow, we're right around $700. All right, Big M, Eduardo O'Neill, I agree, my brother. Been pumped for this game since last Sunday. Wishing you well, my guy. Yep, I agree. Yeah, everybody's got all eyes on tomorrow. Phil, can the stadium endure the vibration? I worry about the structurals itself. Hey, if it happens to cause some structural damage to it, then I guess, hey, maybe we get that new football field sooner than anticipated. Trump, I would not pay more than $50 for a ticket to a game. Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. You can always just watch on TV. I know that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. I'll be sitting here working, watching the entire game. Usually by halftime, maybe the midway through the third quarter, I come up to the office and start working on the thumbnail. I try to set up different ones just for different scenarios and just getting ready for the post-game show. All right, Eduardo, our biggest struggle on Sunday will be the offense disappearing for half the game, ! You can't win against the best of the best with the offense disappearing, not with this defense. Yeah, they're going to have to try to be more consistent with the offense. I agree. Dennis, good morning. Good morning to you too. JDC, no Taylor Swift crowd shots. Woo! Man, they are playing the heck out of that thing, aren't they? They are doing everything they can to bring in the Swifties or whatever they call them. All right, Big M, Eduardo O'Neill. I agree, my brother. Been pumped for this game since last Sunday's game. Wishing you well, my guy. I feel like I read that already. Jalen, good morning, Coach Dan. Did you know that the official on Sunday's game had a record of 3 wins, 11 losses, 1 tie, and he is against the home team. He favors the visiting team. The official's name is Bill. I did not know that. And I'll tell you what, Rose, I will do some looking into that, see if I can get something for tomorrow morning show. All right, Silver Surfer, hello, Coach, and everyone else. It would be nice to advance the NFC Championship. That is all I can say. Other than I'd like to see Houston on the field. JMO go long and Gibbs break some big runs. Yeah, I think you got a good setup there, Surfer. So let's hope it comes to fruition. Robert G. Tampa last 3 games was a double-digit loss to the Saints. Only 3 field goals against the Panthers, and the Eagles were in a tailspin. In my opinion, they haven't got that much better. Yeah, and to your point, yeah, the Eagles game, I basically just chucked that aside just because the Eagles were just playing that horribly in that game. It was really like watching the college team face the high school freshman team or something. It was just, yeah, the Eagles, they didn't want to be out there by any way, shape, or form. Joseph, to say an average price of a seat will be about $1,600 to $1,700. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty spot on. It sounds like that's where most of you guys are going with that. All right, Jason, 3 of 5 of the Buccaneers' worst pro football focused grade players against the struggling Eagles. OG, C, and OG. Yep, that bodes well for the defensive pressure. I agree. Yeah, and again, talking about what I could see on film, watching at least the last, I don't know, I think I watched about 4 games of theirs. You could just see where they're struggling, where they're trying to help, especially with the tackles. And their tackles have gotten better, but it's been at the cost of some of their interior line plays. So I think you guys, we're all on the same page with that. Phil, do you eat circuits? Sometimes, yeah. JDC, Phil, no, they eat corn at a Buccaneer. There you go. Eduardo, wishing you well too. Big M, be red. I'm ready for walking into my local Bucks bar here to toe in the Lions gear tomorrow. Yeah, let me know how that goes, Eduardo. I gotta imagine. Yeah, you're gonna get some people rising you for sure. But you know what? Kudos to you, man. Going in like that. Hey, there's nothing wrong with being on the outside of the norm there. Eduardo, tomorrow I feel like the game will be 24-20 late in the 4th, and we pull away 30-20. I'll take that. Hey, as long as we win, I'll take that. Is that still you? What more can be done to force turnovers? You know, really just keep doing what they're doing. I mean, they are putting pressure on the other team. They are getting shots. Stafford last week I know we talked about it during the week. The dude took a lot of shots. And if he doesn't get rid of that ball as quick as he does, he would have taken more shots. I think there's some potential just to get turnovers out of the pressure we're putting on opposing quarterbacks the last 6 or so games. Dominic, good morning from Texas. Lions will win 42-23. Packers win 24-20. One more playoff game before the Super Bowl. I like it, Dominic. And you know what? I will give you the towel of fate if your scores end up being correct. That's correct. The Dan O'Damas's towel of fate. Yes, I will send that to you. Eduardo, I'd rather play Green Bay because we wouldn't lose 1 day of prep for them because we know them already. Already San Francisco playing today, give them an advantage on prep. Also, I want to end the Packers season. Yes. Yeah. So I get what you're saying. Yeah, because we'd have to fly and all that stuff. Yeah. So yeah, we'd keep it even, keep it same for both teams. Phil, Mayfield is not that tall. Reach for the sky lineman. Yeah. He might be 6 foot. I think they might list him at 6 foot, but he is a short 6 foot. A Vapor, good morning, Duke crew. Holy cow, I caught the live stream. Well, congrats to that and welcome into the live stream. Hope you're having a great day, my friend. Dr. Detroit Laporta, we'll go with that. I agree. Phil, I want a big game from the offensive line. I think you will get it, sir. A Vape, JMO, big game versus the Bucks. I like the way you're thinking. Dr. Detroit, go Pack, go. For 1 day, 100%. A Vape, Lions 34, Rams 17. I'll take that. 100%. Dr. Detroit, good call, Phil. All right. All right, Brandon, if we keep pressure off Goff, we will win by at least 2 scores. I think you are correct, sir. Bit Lady, good morning, Coach and the Duke Crew. First things first, we need to take care of business one game at a time. Tampa Bay is no pushover. We need to wait. Want it more. Lions 30 to 23. I'll take it. A Vapor, or what do you got? I will not root for Green Bay. I'm rooting for the 49ers to lose. That could be a good way to approach it. Brandon, I just hope the Lions don't look past the Bucs. I can't imagine anybody at this point in the season is looking past anybody. There's just too much on the line. At least that would be my anticipation. All right, Trump's. It's propaganda like the news. The TV feeds you. Yes. So the Packers are evil. That's what I got out of that. Robert, it is realistic to expect 11 sacks in this game. Let's hope that we have that on them by halftime. If we've got that by halftime, I think we've got a pretty good shot at winning this game. Eduardo, Dan, we'll have them ready. Brandon, we are past the Lions looking past someone. Yes, correct. Phil, it's going to be very cold standing in line to get into the game. Yes, it will not be the warmest, but you know what? Bundle up, be ready. Make sure whatever you took on to get ready, you can take it off easily and leave in your seat. Jason, reality check. 3 or 4 staff from Bucs Nation picked the Lions to win. Sly grin. All right, we'll go with that. They're not being biased and saying the Lions will win. Then kudos to them, because that's obviously not what's going to what most channels will do or people in the media. Eduardo, just like we believe in our team, Tampa fans believe in theirs. That's that being said, we are the better team. I agree. Let's flip and go. Yes. Phil, judiciously, big words only make sense after my due. Yes, I agree, and I'm getting ready for my due for sure. Eduardo, even though Tampa blitzes a lot, they have one of the worst pass rush win rates in the league. They do. That's I think basically why they blitz a lot is to try to improve their pass rush, because they don't believe they have guys that can get home regularly when it's just say your front four or whatever. Raven, yo, what up? What up with you? And hopefully having a good one. Polar Bear, Houston struggles with confidence. Let's hope not. Raven, yo, do you like the Jets? They're not bad. I don't watch them particularly. They're just I watch the Lions mostly, but the Jets definitely have some good players on that team. Is that still you? Host party. I like the way you're thinking. We will try to make that happen next year. Host a party. Phil, I built that one. Once all the parts ready, assembly is easily. Setting the guitar up so it plays well is the trick. All right. And that is more wisdom than I will probably ever have on guitars, but you clearly know and love your craft, and I think you're pretty good at it, Phil. Don Kong, just win, baby. Just win. 100%. Paulette, what do you coach? Number of sports. Currently basketball, but I've coached football, volleyball, soccer, basketball, obviously, and tennis. So a few sports over the years. Brandon, remember Houston didn't play the first 8 games last year and came in Thanksgiving and caused havoc. I'm banking on him to do the same whenever he gets in. Yeah, and what a breakout game against the Bills last year. He had like 2 sacks on 4 snaps or something like that. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he can do in the playoffs for us. Bit Lady, Houston play if he practices well. If he does not, he will not play. After watching MCDC's pressers and injury updates for 3 years, it is clear they believe good practice translates to good games. Agreed. I'd say you're spot on with that. Scott Flair says, the brand new Lions, baby. Woo! Whether you like them or you don't, learn to love them, because we're the best thing going today. Woo! Yeah, I see what you did there by setting it up like Ric Flair. Yeah, you did a good job with that, Scott. Good job. Dwayne, what do you got? Enjoying the ride? I think we are 2 years away from. Okay. My market, the Bucs will be like catnip to the Lions. All right. I'll take that, Paul. Isn't Ford Field sponsored by Coca-Cola now? I'm trying to do my part to change that. So one do at a time. Perry, MCDC building a dynasty. I hope we retain our coaching staff for the culture change. Yeah, I hope. Selfishly, we all want the coaches to remain. I'm just going to say we probably should have some pause with that hope, just because, you know, at some point some of these guys are going to get snatched up, especially the scouting department. All right, Trump, pour blue Gatorade in a few bottles. There, that could be something to do. Yeah, that might be an idea there. If ever 46 likes, come on, people. Yeah, I can't see what it is here. Trump auto spell sucks. Yeah, he gets me all the time. Polar, I saw a picture of Town Club Honolulu Blue cream soda. I might have to check that out then. I'll look that up. Scott, if Stafford couldn't take us, how the heck is Baker Mayfield? Hey, let's hope you're right, man. I don't want to overlook anybody, but let's hope Mayfield doesn't have some sort of like historic moment. Trump, I heard Baker is banged up. Yeah, ankle and one of his shoulders. But you know what? Give him some credit. He's fighting through it. Phil, a tub full of dew to you. I'll take that. That would be a dream. Sir Richard, Tampa Bay has a really good defense, and Lions shouldn't take the Bucs for granted. I agree. Yeah, and I don't think they will. I don't believe they will. All right, JK, Lions versus the Bricks. All right, we'll go with that. All right, morning coach, the official call of the game. Yeah, we got that. Yep, and thanks for that. Phil, squash sandwich. All right, well, maybe. Brandon, my birthday is Monday. What a gift. A win will be this Sunday. Woo! Well, let's hopefully the Lions can get that win and give you an early birthday present. Mile marker, early happy birthday, dude. 100%. Paul, you can get a ticket for tomorrow for under 500. Okay, so the prices have dropped a little bit. That's good news. Brandon, think at mile marker. Yep, thanks. All right, Polar Bear, Lions ratings are too good for the NFL to want to mess the Lions over. I would hope you are correct on that. And you are right. They are bringing in crowds. Don Kong, let's flip and go. Super Bowl. Gosh dang it. All right, we'll go with that 100%. Trump's. Excuse me. All right, Trump's. Anyone that pays $1,500 for a ticket needs help. Hey, you got to go with what you like in life. Big M, yes. Happy early birthday, Brandon. 100%. Thanks, Big M. JK, BK will be gifted with a win. I'll go with that. Brandon, let's go. Anthony, morning dew crew. I slept in. It happens, man. You can always hit the replay button. All right. Tampa Bay is going to have a rude awakening tomorrow. Go Lions. I like it. Phil, towel of faith. Blessed and signed. Yes, I will perform the ritual blessing of the towel live and on air if the score is correct. We'll do that. Mile marker. I don't want to hurry tomorrow. Today might be our last winning day. Hope not, but Lions PTSD. Yeah, a lot of fans are going to be going through that today and tomorrow during the game. So you're spot on with that, man. Keith, one of the best things of all is seeing all the interviews about my old heroes like Megatron, Herman Moore, Barry Sanders, Chris Spielman. Yeah, those were the guys that really growing up, those were the main dudes. Well, not Megatron, but on the Lions of the 90s. Phil, don't pass the buck. Oh, I see what you did there. All right, Anthony, just seems like all the mainstream media hasn't watched our Lions. Still hating. Most have Tampa Bay winning. Yeah, I agree. Probably a lot of them haven't watched the Lions. My marker, LOL, Phil, the buck stops here. Agreed. Ludell, Monty and Gibbs, difference makers, 100%. Yeah, versus especially the last time we played them. JDC, the Lions will buck up Tampa Bay. All right, I'll take that. Paulette, I think now that the Lions haven't won in 32 years, monkey off their back, the pressure is off. Now they can play loose and kill the Bucs with a big score. Go Lions. Woo! 100%. I like the way you're going there. Bit lady, Brandon Knox, happy birthday, buddy, and go Lions, 100%. Donkey Kong, I'm going to grow some hair and dye it blue. We are going to the Super Bowl. You know what? You're going to have to send us a photo of that or change your photo on your YouTube. All right, A-Vapor, tickets are going for $550 to $1,500 is a scam. People are profiting off the Lions' success. Robert G, have a good day, Dan and Cruz. Same to you, my friend. Brandon, thanks, Bit Lady, go Lions. Jacko, bluntly, the Bucs defense will dominate this game. Sorry, y'all. 38-10. All right, there's somebody from the opposite sideline throwing in some thoughts. Anthony, we don't have a complete team. Last time we do now, Super Bowl or bust. I'm liking it. LOL, not happening. Jason, great show, Dan. Thanks for all your work. No problem. Glad to be here. All right, guys, with all that being said, I'll go ahead and call this one adieu. Bit lady, last one here. Realistically, do you see our OCs getting head coaching job for next year? The same rumors were last year. They still lack lengthy experience, plus connections are important. I think there's some potential to answer your question that one of them is going to get a job. There's just too much success over multiple years now. I won't say who. That's up to the individual teams. But I will say this. I fully expect probably 3 or 4 members of the scouting department to get picked up by other teams. And, kudos to those guys. You put in a lot of work. Being a scout myself, I can tell you, it's not fun. It is one heck of a grind, and the pay is not probably what most people think. It's usually far less than what most people think, but you take those jobs hoping that you can obviously advance. So good kudos to them if they do get picked up. All right, Miles. All right, Corey, go Packers. A third home game would be clinch Super Bowl ticket, 100%. William, Ric Flair is a Bucks fan. Well, hopefully he's also a Lions fan. True Light, we have sound the whole show. Yeah, I try to spoil you guys from time to time. Bit Lady Phil, you got a Yamaha RGX 312 with a Rosewood free bar. Or boy, I can't even talk. I haven't played it in a long time though. All right, Coach, take your wife out for a do. All right, I'm gonna go do that right now. So if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. I think we needed 10 more subs to get to the miles marker, 5,700 today. So if you could make that happen, please do so. Also, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. There's some breaking news today, which I wouldn't expect, but if there is, I'll try to hop on live later today to help out with that. Otherwise, enjoy your day. Take care. Anthony, thank you very much for that. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.